It is now time for the Jerry Jones Show every Tuesday with Sean and RJ, brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford, built for Texas, built for you. Good morning, Jerry. How are you?
John, RJ, good morning.
Jerry, your assessment of the Washington game from the other day. What were your thoughts about what happened there in Washington?
Well, just as to specifics in the game, we knew we were going to have to go in there and run the ball and basically control the clock. When you look at the challenge we had with their defense, which is top defense, that was going to be daunting. We knew where we were relative to our personnel, and we knew that was going to we thought that would be the difference in the way that we thought we were going to go to Washington weeks earlier with in better shape in our offensive line and, frankly, in better shape in executing no matter who we're playing. But we thought we needed to go in there and control the clock and run the ball. We didn't do that. We knew we had to stop the run on their offense side of the ball, and, of course, we didn't do that. And when you miss the mark like that and don't make it up, and special teams play, I kind of get the turnover battle. We real close. We had the one kickoff return, and then we had hand on the ball on a blocked kick there right at that could have given us a score right before the half. When you look at those kinds of things and analyze the game, you really see how and where we came up short. But our plans were to do that. We were stopped short.
Jerry, a lot was made of the lack of teammate reaction to Andy Dalton getting hit like that. Did you have a problem with it? And what do you make of the lack of guys who went on over there to have Andy's back?
Well, I don't. Again, I think that it's the type of hit that we're trying to avoid. It obviously can impact a ball game when we're trying to give our quarterbacks in the league every chance we can to keep them on the field. And we give them that discretion to make that call and slide. And I thought he did it the way textbook. But of course, the result happens. This game changes when that quarterback becomes a runner. And we know firsthand what happened to us with Dak. We've known that throughout you look at the history of the NFL, the quarterback runs in the NFL is going to get hurt and knocked out. And when it does that, the way the game is planned today, you're going to alter your game plan. And that altered ours, knocked the quarterback out. I'm not going to get into how the league saw that, ruled on it one way or the other than we're trying to keep these quarterbacks safe, but we're also trying to create situations where the quarterback is kept in check relative to just take advantage of the rules. The reasons he's given that protection is so that he won't be a runner. So, that's where I am on it. I don't necessarily want to get into I don't as to how the league will see that fine-wise or how they'll come down with their decision on where they are penalty-wise.
Yeah, league reaction aside, we all took it as kind of a bad sign that other Cowboys players didn't rush over there, grab another player by the jersey. You played O-line, Jerry. You know how you're supposed to protect your quarterback. Did you want to see more fight from your own guys when it came to that hit that was laid on Andy?
Generally speaking, I want our guys, our players, to exercise their emotion and exercise their effort when they are aware. A lot of times that you aren't aware of what happened on a particular play. Don't have the benefit that we all have of looking at it and having reviewed for us. So with all of that in mind, my goal is to have the effort in the case of an offensive lineman out in front of a ball carrier, but being physical like that, or basically doing a great job in protection, or getting to the second level. Those kinds of things are where I spend more of my time. The involvement in relative to the emotion, one of the greatest emotions that I can ever remember was when Darrell Owens stepped out and demonstrated on the Star, and became a player and made his demonstration on the Star of the flag. But all of that was a little bit far away from the football, but it served a purpose.
Jerry Jones joined us here at 105 through the Fan. Did you feel there was an effort issue during the game on Sunday?
No, I think that your execution, your ability to play winning football, really, it's chicken and egg. You say, well, step your effort up. You'll play more winning football. Play winning football. You'll get on a roll, and you'll have things working for you, and that begets the perception of dominance. All of those things. I've seen guys that top players that get beat on a play, get beat on 2 or 3 plays. All of a sudden, you say, well, he's where's the strength, the effort, and really be top players. So again, I'm reluctant, and I mean that after evaluating everything. I'm reluctant to basically put effort really at the forefront of what happened to us out there Sunday. I can go there and stop looking for excuses way before effort. And the facts are that fundamentally we're not stopping the run. That's one of the things, but we are not stopping the run. And when you don't do that, then a lot of other things come in behind that as to what you are lacking. But we've got to correct this. We've got to correct it. We'll change some personnel for sure, and we've just got to step in here and make adjustments. That's what you do, and I'm confident. What I am confident is, and I'll really kind of have a note here in big red head letters. One of the, without a question, the reasons that Mike McCarthy is the coach is because he's been through it, and he's had tough times, and he's had disappointing times. And he's got a veteran, he's got a staff that has had a lot of experience. He's got some younger guys on there too. But I point and will go hard at that. But certainly we couldn't have anticipated being at this stage with our team this year. But if I were going to hire a head coach, that we're going to be at this stage this year and work through this for the betterment of what's in store for us for the rest of the year and for what's for us in the future, I got my man. And this is where you build. I've been here before. I've been here with some really top coaches. I've seen them have a situation that for a lot of different reasons needs improved, needs the leadership to improve, needs the steadiness to improve, leaves the prospects of a bright future. We have that in Mike McCarthy as our coach. We have a resolve. We have the ability, if anybody does, to get good football players. We have the financial ability to get good football players. We have good football players. You guys will admit that when we started throughout pro football kingdom, we were believed to have had great personnel to start this year with. We don't have a bunch of it now. But that still doesn't mean you shouldn't be not trying, but winning some football games.
Jerry, how much blame as the general manager and responsibility do you take for the talent on the field, the talent development, the underperformance of these players? How much blame as the GM do you take?
As much as you give me when you're talking about how great the talent is. I think you basically step up there and see that it's a joint effort, has been forever, and it's a joint effort. Have a lot of input, have input from some of the best there are in terms of opinions, in terms of what we're deciding to do, have lived a life of being able to determine when there's too much input, but don't confuse the ultimate decision with just a single-minded decision. That's not the way it works. Never has worked that way. Didn't work that way from the first day I walked through this door. And I've had the last say on everything since I bought the team in 1989, period. And
Jerry,
that just isn't how it works.
Jerry, I know Mike McCarthy has skins on the wall and a Super Bowl ring, but do you feel like he has control of this team? And do you think you guys, whether it's coaching or players, have a leadership void, a leadership problem?
Well, let's switch part of the question. I'm going to answer the first one. Do I think he has control of the situation? To the extent that no one ever controls to some degree what is happening out here with us today. We have almost 45% of our salary cap that isn't even on the field. It's not even out there Sunday. 45% of it. We have it in critical areas that we counted on. That offensive line and the running game was going to be the strength of what we have. We knew going in, you better be careful counting on your quarterback being a running threat because what? He'll get hurt. And so when you look at what we're dealing with and the adjustments that we're having to make, the question of control, or does he have the ability to make any adjustments, get any coach to do what he wants them to do, or basically put out there any formation we want? Absolutely, within the aspect of the assets and tools that we have. But the answer is yes. That was one of the things that we wanted here when we made a change in our coaching after Jason Garrett, is we wanted someone, by the way, you wanted someone that in case the you-know-what hit the fan, that had the credibility and had the doability to do what? Stand tall and strong as the head coach. And he's doing that. In answer to your question, the answer is yes. He's doing that in the face of adversity. Anybody without a resume, anybody without experience can do it when it's all going good. But that's not football. It's never going all good.
Does your team have a leadership void?
When we're in the offensive line, where
just overall, when these.
But seriously, where would you have a leadership void? Is it an experience void? Is it a talent void? Is it a leadership void? I'm not trying to be cute here. The answer is no. The answer is no.
I'm asking.
There's not a. Well, just shut up and let me answer. No.
Jerry, when you go into the locker room, what I'm asking is, do you see the intangibles?
You're not asking me that. I gave you the answer. When I go into the locker room, there's no leadership void in my eyes.
Okay.
Now that's your answer. Let's move on.
Jerry Jones joined us here at 105 through the Fan. Last year, the defense averaged giving about 20 points a game. This year, it's at 35. With the exception of Byron Jones, it's largely the same talent level. What do you think the main reason the defense is so much worse this year, points-wise?
Well, you're talking about you said the defense average or the offense average?
The defense. Yeah, the defense is allowed about 35 points a game. Last year was allowing 20, and it's for the most part it's the same talent level with the exception of Byron Jones. You know, why the big discrepancy? What is so much worse about this year's defense? Is it the coach? Is it the players?
Field position. They're working with an average of the leading turnovers that we've ever had on the football team, and the leading. I'd start right there. Field position, defending our goal after we've had turnovers. I'd go right there for number one. Number two, we are having difficulty stopping the run. We are having difficulty stopping the run. So I'll start right there. The turnovers that start early and field position there, and then we are not getting the run stopped, and that's problematic.
Jerry, there are reports that Everson Griffin could be dealt, Darryl Worley, Dantari Poe. Are you thinking about being in sell mode right now for the future of this season, or is it more still about winning the division?
Well, I thought Griffin played well. Now we need all the players that we can get on the table. I don't know about the other guy.
Jerry Jones, every single Tuesday right here on 105.3 The Fan.
Jerry, Stephen had said that, give this time, let this thing evolve. Is this a transition type year? He's kind of talked about a transition season.
Yeah. Well, we certainly didn't approach this season as a result or a one-loss record of a transition season. We knew going in we'd change the coaching staff. And so that, by definition, transition from one coaching staff to the other, yes, this was a transition year. We thought with our strength being in our offensive line, we thought with our skill players, we thought with Dak, Zeke, we thought we could do a good job over on the offensive side of the ball. We're far apart from that, not excuses, but we just don't have that team out there right now. Secondly, we knew we were challenged. That's why you had the effort to bring in all those free agents to bolster up the middle of that front line. If you look at it, it wasn't as though we didn't recognize we needed help in the middle of the line. We did hit it hard in terms of off-season free agents, spent money to give us some help there, drafted there. And I hope that Kristen Hill, and we're really right than we were lacking in that decision right there. Kristen Hill did come on and surprise us and had an outstanding first part of the season before we lost him to injury. But we knew where we had to spend some time and attention. That's no secret where we were in the center of our front on the defensive line.
Jerry, last one. Is there an update on Andy Dalton? Is he going to be able to start on Sunday? And do you expect to bring in another quarterback to fill that room?
Guys, to fill the room, not to be meaningful in the approach to the game. I'm talking about bringing in another quarterback. Might have the first part of that, fill the room. Number one. But number two, it's protocol, it's concussion protocol. Those things would be a complete guess, and that's only, who knows how that's going to come out. Who's being the man up above. But he certainly had a serious concussion, first one he's ever had in his career, first one that he's ever had. And so we'll play that as we go through the day here.
Jerry, thanks for the time. Enjoy your day and enjoy your week.
Hey, man, if I were a little abrupt there, then I really don't want to have our day start that way. You're too good a man for that. And this certainly isn't my most tactful time, if you might say, with this thing as we discuss these matters. I'm disappointed for our fans. I can't tell you how disappointed I am. It was not the plan at all. We certainly want to point to things, but they're not excuses. This is football, And I'll assure you right now, we're going to put our head down. We haven't spent the time, the years, the money, the effort, and everything for the Dallas Cowboys to be where we are right now. There will be better days.
Well, Jerry, I think people are happy to know that you are extremely pissed off. We know it, and we look forward to better days. Thank you.
There's one thing. There's an old adage. Don't piss an old man off with a little money.
There you go.
Thank you, Jerry.
He'll get you.
He'll get you.
It'll get you. It'll get you. There you go. Thank you, Jerry.